Connected. Connected.
Hey, how you doing?
Slowly going insane.
Slowly going insane?
Yeah, due to this event.
Lots of people going nuts? Or just hard to do?
I'm trying to do too much at the same time.
Damn, I was looking at it like this is almost overwhelming just to read.
Yeah. I'm like playing in third person with multiple tags, trying to narc.
Yeah, for third person, I'll probably just take like a Daka whale or something.
Yeah.
Alright, I am working on the PTS, and of course nobody's doing it because there is an event, so what I'm going to do is just testing rounds, I guess. PGI really shouldn't schedule these events during a public test, but what are you going to do? Alright, so for those that don't know, PGI has once again tweaked the energy draw values, and I got mixed feelings on this one. I want to say it's a step in the right direction, but I'm very wary of it given PGI's past boondoggles. Basically, UACs have been nerfed. They take much longer jam time, up to 8 seconds from 5. Jam chances have been decreased to 12 from 15. Let's see, energy weapons have had their energy draw decreased so that it's no longer 1-to-1, instead it's 0.9-to-1. So instead of a medium laser dealing 5 to your energy draw, it's going to deal 0.9 times 5, whatever that comes out to. I guess that's 4.5.
I'm going to try Cyclops Q with 6 Strict SRM2s, large pulse laser, 2 narc, 2 tags and 1 arc.
Have fun with that. Sounds like an ambitious mech. So let's test the UACs. They also did a little bit, I think they said with the cooldown, or at least with the energy draw, so
artillery strike.
It doesn't draw energy.
Target destroyed.
If you jam. Let's see how long this jam takes. Oh, it didn't take too long from the looks of it. So energy weapons now have an advantage in energy draw. They don't deal direct 1-to-1. However, PGI did come to its senses, and it did decrease the energy draw for Ballistics. So what happened was Ballistics and energy were both 1-to-1 in PTS 1. In PTS 2, they increased the energy draw for Ballistics, which made no sense. So the AC-20, for example, instead of having a 20 energy draw, had a 24 energy draw, which is nuttier than a Snickers bar. But they've decreased it back down to 20. And so all the ACs now deal 1-to-1 energy draw to damage. There we go. I don't want to run off the edge here just because Overwolf's coming on. So that's a positive step in the right direction. They balanced the energy weapons a little bit by 0.9 since their duration. I didn't really like that because energy weapons are still, in my opinion, kind of an easy mode weapon since they're pinpoint, they got good range and all of that. However, they did decrease the damage. So large lasers deal 1 point less for both clans and Inner Sphere. So the Inner Sphere, for example, deals 8 damage now instead of 9. Inner Sphere large pulses, instead of dealing 10, are going to deal, I think it was 9 damage. So large pulses have really had their teeth kicked in. The clan large pulse laser, I can't seem to talk all of a sudden, it'll deal 10 instead of 13. So I mean, lasers are getting their teeth kicked in on damage for the large class. Their cooldowns are altered slightly. Let's see, range, cooldown, and damage, and energy draw. Yep, the only beneficial thing for the large class of lasers and pulse lasers was that their energy draw did decrease. Everything else was nerfed. So we'll just have to play around with that and see what that means. It should mean that it brings them into line with Ballistics, giving Ballistics a little bit of a better presence, because they were pretty much dead in the last patch, unless you ran UACs.
Heat level critical.
Definitely is hot.
Heat level critical. Target destroyed.
Let's see if I... Nope. Alright, didn't lose any components. So yes, you have to definitely cycle fire over your UACs now. But it doesn't look like it'll be too bad anyways, so that's kind of good. I think the nerf to UAC jam time is probably a good move and a good step in the right direction. Especially since the jam chance came down. Let's see. That's the direwolf, the UAC direwolf. It doesn't seem to be that much different from the previous public test. The energy draw did decrease a little bit, I will say. So the heat didn't heat up quite as much when I was cycle firing as it did during public tests. So that's a good improvement. You know, it was still hot when I fired all 5 UACs, but when I fired 2 and then 3, it wasn't too bad. So let's see what other mechs I can try. Clan assaults. All right, this is a mixed build. We'll try the mixed build direwolf. See what happens. I'm not going to try all my mechs because I have way too many. I'm going to try some that typify the different weapon loadouts. But because of that, like, I'm going to try... I tried the DACA direwolf. I'm trying a mixed direwolf. And so because of that, I'm not going to try a DACA Kodiak. Everybody's doing DACA Kodiaks. You can find that video on YouTube anywhere pretty much. I'm not going to just duplicate that again. I'm going to focus on some other things instead. What I'm looking for mainly are only a couple metas. I'm trying to do more the what I call fun builds, the novelty ones, the non-meta ones, the type that most people like to run just for kicks that nobody just spams. That's certainly hot.
Heat level critical. Override engaged.
That doesn't seem too bad.
Target destroyed.
Doesn't seem too bad. I mean, you have to cycle fire your lasers, obviously. The large pulse is almost heat neutral in this mag.
Heat level
For mediums
critical.
are pretty hot, so that'd be kind of tough to use them effectively. Probably have to chain fire them like that. Even that, they're still kind of hot. Wow, okay. Doesn't seem too bad for that direwolf, really. For those that are unaware, I'm sure everybody knows by this point, but there's a really neat event going on called MechWarrior Things. Basically, PGI is claiming that they have new ways to track individual actions in game, and so they are now using that to the fullest for the new event. And some of the things include like fighting in third-person view, using NARC, using tag, getting hidden runs. Let's see what else is there. Dying after getting 300 damage. Ooh, there's a lot of stuff. It's almost bewildering how many different things they're tracking, and they're giving out bukus of MC, which is a good thing. I'm not gonna test that one. Let's see. I could test that one, I guess. Let's do the quad ERPPC Warhawk next. This is a classic mech. This is a fun build. Not really a meta, but it might become meta. We'll see. One big change that did happen is they got rid of splash damage on the Clan PPCs. To be honest, I'm not really sure how I feel about that. I kind of like the idea of the splash damage because it didn't put 15 pinpoint damage into a single component. That was really the sole territory of the Gauss rifle and helped give people a reason to run Gauss. The splash damage was kind of a neat effect, and I was kind of hoping they would bring Innersphere PPCs up to match the Clan.
I still not there.
Instead, do what, Boa?
Still there.
Acquired.
Yeah. I just killed an Warhawk with my Cyclops.
Are you talking to me, Boa?
Yeah.
10 and 4.
It was Terra Therma.
Good job. So, now instead, it's all going to go to one component. Wow, the cooldown seems longer. Well, PVCs definitely run cooler now. I don't really know how I feel about the pinpoint. As a fan of PPCs, I like the fact they do more damage now, for sure. Especially since the clans are underwhelming in terms of their pinpoint damage. However, the splash damage was so unique, and I kind of liked it. I kind of hate to see it go. I kind of wish we kept that. I think the pinpoint's gonna invalidate Gauss. Why would anybody run Gauss when you can run PPCs and not have to worry about ammo or tonnage? I think that's a mistake on PGI's part. Alright, so you still overheat pretty quick if you don't watch your energy draw gauge closely.
Override. Heat
That's
level
dead
critical.
awesome. I wonder if I've got a dead Warhawk.
Left
Yep, dead Warhawk. So you still gotta cycle your fire, obviously, just like you have to do in the regular client. I would say this mech seems to run a little cooler if you're careful with the energy draw. I think you can probably get away with a little more in this mech than you currently can in the public server. It'll be interesting. I kind of like that. Like I said, I really missed the splash damage. That was just kind of a neat characteristic and a defining feature that gave the clans something a little more flavorful than just the same old, same old. Oh, let's see what else. What do we want to do next? As soon as this loads up. I wish our load times were this quick in the public server. What's this one we got? Another M clan. This one's a hodgepodge. I haven't really done anything with it. You know what? Let's try not that one. Alright, triple large pulse. This is a very typical build. We haven't done a whole lot with energy yet, and the large pulse is one of the ones that was changed quite a bit during this last iteration of balance. So let's see what this means for the triple large pulse clan Timberwolf. And I'll start out with all the clan mechs, then I'll switch over to Inner Sphere and go Inner Sphere. Snowy Canyon. So look, it rendered. Actually, Snowy Canyons would be interesting.
target acquired.
Alright, so this really isn't bad. It's almost heat neutral. They'll heat very slowly here. It's definitely a good thing. Damage is down to 10, so I've only got a 30-point alpha now. I had a 39-point alpha, so I've lost 9 points of damage. That's kind of a major deal, in my opinion. Let's wait for it to cool down, then we'll alpha, see what happens. Alpha only does 30%. Alright, not bad, really. I would say the large pulse is still going to be a major meta in the new public test, just based on this. I mean, you see how much damage I'm putting out right here without overheating. It's really kind of broken, actually. The damage has been decreased down to 10 from 13. Can't really say that it's, you know, it's definitely supposed to help a little bit with the fact that the pulse lasers are such low heat weapons. Range has been decreased too. You know, I don't know. Personally, I think it's probably okay if you're running a build like this, but I think once you pair it with medium lasers, I think it's still going to be laser vomit. I think it's still going to be meta. But it is what it is. I'm not going to bother to kill the awesome. There's really no reason. We'll just go straight to the next mech. I would like to do some combat, but nobody's in the actual public test right now, so I can't get a quick play drop. And unfortunately, nobody from my unit's online yet to private match against, so just have to keep doing testing grounds in the meantime. Not really a good stand-in for 12v12 group play, but at least you get a sense of the changes on the mech level. And for those of you that are experienced enough, you can extrapolate this to the 12v12 and see what it would mean for you if your entire team was fighting this way. I wish they had used a more recent save of my mech lab. I've got a lot of mechs in here that aren't kitted out, that are kitted out in the public. They even have me down as tier 2 still. This is really quite an old mech, whatchamacallit, save, I guess, mech lab save. Gauss rifles, by the way, also have their energy draw decreased from 15 to 12. That should strengthen my gridiron quite a bit, and my summoner. Alright, let's see what happens with this Spot Wolf.
Target acquired. Fuel at 25%. Heat level critical.
That's certainly hot.
Heat level critical. Override
Well,
engaged.
still gotta say this
New
is pretty
target
powerful.
acquired.
Oh my. I think the heat might be pretty close to where it is in the public. The problem is I don't run clans very often. I run them when I have to, usually to help my unit out in faction warfare or in MRBC or something. So I'm not as well familiar with the heat for them. The main reason why I don't run them often is they're just so restrictive. You can freestyle pretty much all you want with a clan mech, but you can only have about 2 or 3 good builds for clans just because of their heat, their locked spaces. I mean, it's really restrictive, even with Omni-mechs. So I prefer to run Inner Sphere. Yeah, you're restricted with hard points, but I can do whatever size engine and whatever guns I want on the hard points and have a viable mech. Can't really do that with
Target destroyed.
I would have to say this Timberwolf doesn't really feel nerfed very much right now. I think it feels slightly hotter with the lasers right now when I fire them with the SRMs together. But when I'm just cycle firing between the lasers and the SRMs, I feel like it might actually have received a slight buff. I'll have to go back and run it on the public server and compare. Alright, next map. Don't fall, I fell. I hurt myself. Oh, my poor little legs. I stubbed my toe when I fell. Somebody call PETA. I'm abusing a Timberwolf. Alright, this is like the stereotypical laser vomit, so we'll try it and we'll see what happens with it. We tried the Brawl Wolf, we tried the Pulse Wolf, now we'll try the laser vomit wolf. Then again, these aren't the definition for the metas, these are just my approximations, just based on what I like to run.
Target
This
acquired.
one's probably the closest one I got to meta.
Override engaged. Heat level critical.
Yeah, I don't want to blow up just yet. Oh, that was certainly hot. Just about one shot of that cataphract too. So Clan Large lasers should deal... No, I'm sorry, Clan Large Pulse... I said earlier Clan Large Pulse deal 10 damage. That's not true. Clan Large Pulse deal 11, Clan Larges deal 10. I misspoke. Wow, 51% heat for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 medium lasers.
Target destroyed.
31% heat for 3 large lasers.
Target acquired. Artillery strike online. Heat level critical.
Just about overheated there.
Heat level critical.
Did overheat.
Override engaged.
Shall we finish this awesome and dare the mech to last?
Heat level critical. Right
Got it. I
arm
won. I killed the awesome.
Left torso destroyed.
Oh, but that awesome did for me too. For a minute there, I thought I was actually going to make it. Alrighty. We'll try out the Summoners, aka the Thor, next. We'll use my PBC Gauss Jump Sniper. It's a fun mech. My main concern is Inner Sphere Brawling. I really want Inner Sphere Brawling to exist because that's my favorite way to play. In the last 2 public test servers, PGI killed it. In fact, in the first public test server, PGI killed it. The second one, PGI basically came back and said, "Oh, we realized we kind of killed it, and our goal is to make Brawling. Yeah, that's it, Brawling. We want Brawling to be different from long range because of high DPS. And the AC-20 is really nerfed, and we made a mistake, and we really want to boost its DPS. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna increase his energy draw from 20 to 24. Aren't you proud of us?" That was about how they came across. I'm exaggerating just a teensy-weensy bit there, but it was pretty much just like that. So long story short, they publicly acknowledged that they had destroyed Brawling, and then they went and nerfed Brawling weapons even further on top of that acknowledgement, literally in back-to-back sentences. So it's good to see the energy draw decrease back to normalized values for all ballistics. That's a positive move and a sensible one. I don't know what PGI was drinking the night they decided not to do that, but at least it's back to normal. The decrease to damage and range on the large lasers is going to help balance the brawling a little bit. But
Target
that's
acquired.
really all that happened. I mean, I can't really say that Industry of Brawling is back in the public test server. But we'll certainly be testing that to see. If I remember correctly, they did say that PPCs received a global cooldown nerf to account for the changes
At
to their enemy
25%.
draw.
Fuel at 0%. Fuel at 25%.
Wow, this shoots slow.
At
Gosh,
25%. Fuel at 25%. Fuel at 0%.
Anybody who headshots while doing that is using hacks.
Fuel at 25%. Fuel at 0%.
Alright, so this is a completely heat neutral build now,
Target acquired.
for all intents and purposes. I can Alpha Strike with complete impunity. Wow, jump jack.
25%. Fuel
I think we'll
at
see more summoners like
0%.
this. They used to be a good mech. They used to be really the only decent build for some Prime. Then Goss got nerfed so hard in the PPCs that they disappeared. I think we'll see a comeback for this mech. I think that's a good sign.
Fuel at 25%. Fuel
I fell.
at
All the way down.
0%.
I lost my piloting license. I can't fly anymore.
Fuel at 25%.
Ambush is an
Target
ambush.
destroyed.
Alright, enough of the silliness. Next mag. Alrighty then. I've got a summoner that's nothing but SRM, so I'll run it out next to see what happened with SRMs in this public test. I didn't see any change logs, so they should be the same as they were in public test 2. But we'll take a gander at it just to see. Well, maybe the MechLab doesn't load as fast as I'm already loading. Alright, let's do this one. The reason why I'm using Candy Network is, one, I've got 2 mechs pretty close to me, so I don't have to really go hunt for them. With PGI's new map designs, they spread everything out, so you gotta search all day to find the trial mechs, and that even when you do, you gotta hike all day to reach them, even if you know where they're at. Canyon, they're nice and close, so you don't really have to run much. It's also slightly warm, so it's a good test for the heat scale,
Target
without being
acquired.
overly hot or too cold. Believe it or not, I do not have all of these on one trigger. That's how I had it right there.
Fuel at 25%.
Now, can we say no really
Fuel at
problems?
0%.
What about alphas? That's not bad either.
Fuel at 25%. Fuel at 0%. Critical.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say SRMs definitely got a buff
New
with
target acquired.
with the PTS. These should, like I said, be the same values for PTS 2, and really I'm looking at SRM brawlers as being a strong thing in PTS 3 also. I wonder about other brawling weapons though. Or will SRMs be the only brawling guns we'll see?
Fuel at 25%.
Hit reg still seems a little off. I wonder if I can push this awesome off the edge. I think I can. Let's see. closer. Get closer. Little by little, it draws near. Almost there. Almost there. Ooh, getting rid of a leg makes it slide slower. I didn't mean to do that. I was going to push it all the way off. I goofed. Oh well. Yeah, I think the answer is yes, you can push it off the edge. We'll go with that. Alright, so SRM's buffed. Large class of lasers and pulse lasers nerfed. Still very viable though, from what I'm seeing. Energy weapons buffed across the board in terms of energy draw. Ballistics for PTS 3 are buffed with respect to ballistics in PTS 2. Their energy draw values have been decreased. UACs have been buffed in terms of energy draw. But they've been nerfed in terms of jam duration, so trade-off. Twin ERPBC Nova. We'll see how this looks. This is a pretty common Nova. Yes, that is Legend of Zelda music. You're not going crazy, viewer. I have a playlist here of video game music. All of it ripped from video games, I think. Some of it I just found random on YouTube and it sounded cool. Don't judge.
Acquired.
Shot through a tree. Okay, that's cool. Well, the long reload time is certainly going to hurt this mech in terms of its DPS. Definitely feels more snipey now. The 30 points to one torso is, in my opinion, a little broken.
Fuel at 25%. Fuel at 0%.
Said you can't hit while jetting.
New target acquired. Critical.
I don't know why, but Lost Woods just seems like an appropriate song for this jumpy, pop-tarting mech. Alright, we tested the Nova. Alright, let's look at the 12 medium laser classic Nova here that everybody loves and adores because it is the stock classic Nova. Yes, I'm being a little facetious. I might be the only person that loves and adores it, but hey, I do, so don't judge. I must see if one of my all-time favorite mediums is still functioning. This public test, this test of the public test, I should say, is going to take a little bit because I do have quite a few mechs to try out here. I want to make sure I have a good representation while also checking some of my favorites.
Target acquired. Heat level critical.
Well, used to you could fire back to back just like that without overheating, so I can say right off that this mech has been nerfed, unfortunately, as a travesty. Can't decide which word I want to say, so I say them both at the same time and botch them. Alright, we'll wait to cool down.
Heat level critical.
Yeah, so you can't fire one then the other. PGI has completely nerfed this mech, so it's not even functional anymore.
Target destroyed.
That's quite the pity. Well, I don't like that. That frustrates me.
Override engaged. Left torso
Really good times.
destroyed. Left arm destroyed.
Yeah, used to you could fire one arm, wait a second and a half, fire the second arm. After that, you couldn't do anything. You really didn't even bother or dare to like move because the extra heat generated might make you overheat. But you could stand still and you could do it, one, then the other. And you can't do that anymore. So it kind of defeats the purpose of even having that many medium lasers now. And yeah, you could say you shouldn't be able to do that, but I mean, that was the fun thing. That was the stock build, and that was just fun to run. It wasn't very useful. It took forever to cool off to be able to fire again, so it really wasn't very effective. It was just a fun troll build. But, you know, why should we have fun troll builds? I mean, everything has to be balanced to PGI standards, which they won't release. So, you know, why does anybody else? Why should anybody else get what they like, right? PGI should have what it wants. So the other thing that bugs me is they talk about in the latest patch notes bringing things in line with their standards and their expectations, but they won't actually tell us what those standards or expectations are. So we really have no way to judge other than what our own standards or expectations, which vary wildly from person to person. If we at least knew PGI's, what's the word I'm trying to think of, PGI's goal, then we could judge effectively, more effectively, whether PGI was actually doing a good job of balancing or not. As it is, this all seems very haphazard.
Target acquired.
Yes, this is 13 small pulse lasers. Now, used to, you could fire Group 1, Group 2, and Group 4. We'll see if we can this time, too. Yeah, this mech is still very viable. Wait for it to cool down, and I'll hit all of them together and see what happens.
Override and heat level critical.
Well, you definitely overheat.
Left torso destroyed. Left arm
But you don't die.
destroyed.
Interesting.
Small pulse laser destroyed.
Hit the wrong button. I meant to
Heat sink destroyed.
hit my cool shot, but instead turned off my override. I want to see how it would work. Oh well. What if I'm gonna die? I survived. How about that?
Override engaged.
Well, even with the cool shot triggering, it didn't seem to do anything. It's pretty hot, I guess. Heat penalty for exceeding the energy draw is still 1 point of heat for every 1 point exceeded. And once again, all lasers and pulse lasers have 0.9 as a modifier. So if you want to know the energy draw, you take the damage output of that laser or pulse laser, multiply by 0.9, and that's your energy draw for that weapon. I wonder, yeah, we'll try. This is another classic Stormcrow. We'll try it and see what happens with it. I don't want to be on here all day, but I do need to try some of these builds. Ooh, we jumped. Here we go. Just me, all by my lonesome. So sad. And once again, I messed up my triggers.
Target acquired.
Alright, we'll hit 0 and I'll test this out. Let's see here. Alpha strike to 70% heat. That's a little hurtful. I would say this mech is still very viable.
Heat level critical. Heat level critical. Artillery strike online.
Ooh. 3 medium pulse lasers is kind of hot in this PTS build. 2 doesn't seem that bad.
Heat level critical. Override engaged. Target destroyed.
Whoa!
Left torso
Run
destroyed.
for the hill!
Left arm
I made it
destroyed.
before I died.
Medium pulse laser destroyed.
Somebody called
Heat
PETA.
sink.
I'm abusing a crow now. Alright, I think we'll call that good with Clan's medium to assault. Next, we'll check a couple lights and then we'll swap over to the Inner Sphere. Want to check my twin ERPPC Kit Fox and see how that works in the new public test. It's one of my favorite Kit Fox builds. I would hate to see it go the way of the dinosaur because PGI doesn't know what it's doing. We'll also try... what else can we try? We've got the adder with pulse lasers. And we've got a laser vomit Kit Fox. Also got the Jenner with all the SRMs. We already saw what SRMs do, so we know the SRMs are pretty well buffed. Let's try the PPC Kit Fox first. And we'll go to the home first. Here we go, testing grounds, canyon. Okay.
Target acquired.
Well, it's about the same in terms of heat.
Critical.
Yeah, I can't say there's been a major change. The pinpoint's definitely going to help.
Critical. Critical. Override engage. Critical. Target destroyed.
Whoa, that's quite a tumble. Wish it wasn't all blurred out. That would have been kind of cool. Alright, the 20 ERPPC Kit Fox is still viable, I'm pleased to say. You know what, I don't think I'm going to try the other Clan Lights, because most of my Clan Lights are basically smaller versions of my Clan Mediums. You know, the 5 medium pulse, adder, the laser vomit, Kit Fox. I don't really have anything unique to do them. Again, because Clans are such a cookie cutter thing, I just don't really have anything else to try on them. So what I'll do instead is I'll go straight over to the Inner Sphere, and I'll try some of my Inner Sphere mechs, because those have a much more unique flavor to them that'll serve better as test subjects anyways. So let's check out Laser Eyes here. My fire starter. This is the meta fire starter, by the way. The one that people... oh, I went to Tourmaline. Well, I meant to go to Canyons, but I wasn't paying attention. We'll try out Tourmaline for this one, then we'll go back to Canyons for everything else. So this fire starter was considered OP and broken, and then along came the Arctic Cheetah, and everybody else forgot about it, even though neither one are really OP or broken. Initially they were because of the hitboxes, but once the hitboxes got fixed, they just became normal mechs. Alright, the alpha is still pretty nice. Actually, I have to say it feels a little better than the live server right now. I've been running this one a bit lately, and it goes at least over 30% on Terra. With Alpha Strike, but here it's only a little over 20%. That's an improvement. This mech has been buffed. Don't forget, I'm not running exact metas. Please remember that. If your fire starter runs hotter or cooler, it's because of your own unique build. Remember, I'm running my own builds. I'm not mimicking the accepted metas. Because of that,
target destroyed. Heat level critical.
my mech's going to behave a little differently than yours.
Target acquired.
Let's go say hi to Bravo. After we kill it, we'll try another mech.
Critical. Heat level critical. Heat level critical. Target destroyed. override engaged. Heat level critical. Fuel at
Yeah, don't just
25%.
take this long to
Fuel
reheat.
at 0%.
Yeah, I have to say the fire starter feels pretty strong in this public test build. Doody, long load times. What will we do? I can't think of anything else to put on there to rhyme. Locust won't have changed from the previous public test, so I'm not going to go back to it. Alright, the Raven will have changed. I wonder if this one's deleted. I know I deleted them, but I can't remember if I deleted them before they took this snapshot or after. Doesn't look like they did. Nope. Alright, let's delete this real quick so we can see what it looks like. And again, I'm not using modules on these just because PGI nerfed the ever living daylights out of modules. So there's really no reason to even put them on the mechs anymore in terms of cooldown bonuses. So I'm just going to leave those off and we'll just test them with the raw data to see how they perform.
Target acquired.
Seems to run a little cooler than on the public test server. I think it runs hotter, not public test, I think it runs hotter on the public server, is what I'm trying to say, as opposed to the public test. Runs cooler here because of the decreased energy draw and the fact that I think they decreased the heat too for it. Although its damage is a little less, its cooldown is certainly longer.
Target destroyed. Heat level critical.
It's probably a good thing.
Airstrike. Go to mediums next. We'll try my beloved Yinlo Wang, see what happened to it with the recent autocannon buffs from PTS 2 to PTS 3. Hopefully it got a major buff overall. Alrighty, here we go. Run, run, run. This is one of my all-time favorite mechs in the game. Definitely one of my top 2 favorites. Boom. I have to say, it feels pretty strong. Also, by the way, don't be fooled by the incredibly inaccurate shots. I'm just not really being very careful with my shot placement because I'm only here to test the heat. So if I kill the mechs too quickly, then it kind of defeats the purpose. I gotta go hunt for another one. Heat level critical.
Let's do a brawl with this mag. Right as I say that, I shut down.
Override engaged. Critical.
I didn't kill it. Oh, I hit the head.
Target destroyed.
Whoa, that got me. Alright, Yellow Wing seems good. I'm glad they haven't destroyed my favorite. Well, yeah, I guess it is my second favorite. The Hunchback 4G probably holds the place as favorite for me. And that's the one that we'll try next. Let's see here. Also, I'm not noobish enough to play with directional arrow generally. I just haven't taken the time to deactivate it since this is the public test after all. That doesn't seem too bad. I usually fire in volleys anyway, so I don't think it'll make a difference. Wish this thing moved faster though. Oh, I managed to hit it. I actually tried that. Die, cataphract, die, die, die. Alright, Hunchback feels strong, just slow. And we'll try the Gridiron next with its Goss buff. Here we go. I'm really glad they got rid of the Goss cooldown there. That was just stupid in my opinion. Never been used. Ooh, right over his head. Well, right out of the gate, this feels fairly strong. Goss rifle on the Gridiron feels okay. Let's see, select mech. We'll try the 4J. You know what? No, we'll do the 4P. Don't really need to test LRMs unless I'm running an LRM boat.
User joined your channel.
Hey, Mage.
Oh yeah.
Target acquired.
Just got back from the store.
Medium lasers don't seem that bad.
I gotta put the salmon away and feed them some. I gotta get my chicken chow mein for lunch.
I'm testing the new public test build.
Exciting.
Yeah, I have to say this mech feels pretty strong still. Once again, PJ, I was supposed to curb the laser meta.
The event that's going on right now,
Doesn't
the
really
silly
feel like
things
it
you have to do.
What's up?
The event that's running right now.
Override
See what some of the silly things you have to do?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, ain't it?
Yeah.
Right arm destroyed. Small pulse laser destroyed. Left leg destroyed. Left arm destroyed.
Beginning to wonder if it was actually going to kill me.
I'll be back in like 5 minutes.
Well, the 4P feels still reasonably powerful. I don't think I'm going to bother with the 4H or any of the others here. Ash is more SRM brawling. Let's see. We'll try the 9 LRM5 Archer. Last time on Public Test 2, this was kind of a broken mech. So we'll try here and see what happens.
Target acquired.
I hate LRMs and I feel really dirty doing this. But it's just so much fun to watch. And it takes forever to heat up. This is certainly broken. Oh my
Noticed
goodness,
that
this is
the
broken.
Cyclops antenna sinks into the roof at the manifold map. Makes sparks.
Target destroyed.
Wow.
Heat level critical.
Alpha. Wow. Wow, are they gonna come down? Nope. 9 LRM5s on an Archer is completely broken in Public Test 3. We're talking faster than AC2 in terms of firing rate and very low heat. Like a UAC too, but all LRMs. Alright, we'll look at Ballistics next with the 4X. It's a quad AC build. Slowly but surely, I chug off to go find my first victim.
Target acquired. Destroyed.
That doesn't seem too bad, I guess. Let's check another one. Alright, quick draw. Brawling quick draw. PGI had destroyed it previously, and then I heard that SRMs got fixed, and so now I gotta see what it's like on PTS 3. Wish they had caught the rescale in this as well.
Target acquired.
Quick draw is still full size, I think, in this. It feels sluggish more so than in the public server. But it still seems functional if you cycle your weapons. I was just alphaing there to see how it would work.
Target acquired.
So let's go test on the Austin now while cycling the weapons. Kind of hoping it would roll. Oh well. Here we go. Finally back into the mech lab. Well, the quick draw got nerfed, but it still seems functional. Now we'll try the web boat for the Thunderbolt. See what happened with it.
Target acquired.
Almost 50%. So what happens if I fire doesn't really do much. So if you cycle your fire, you can see from my weapon triggers I've already got cycles set up. I mean, it really doesn't do much. It almost doesn't even heat you up.
Heat level critical. Override engaged. Target destroyed.
Smoking pile of wreckage. It's going over. It's going. It's going. And that's it. Really wish I cut that cool one earlier. Oh well. We'll try the PPC Thunderbolt now.
Target acquired.
Well, this definitely seems like a strong mech still. Yeah, I have to say the Thunderbolt 9S really isn't hurt. Now we'll go to assaults, and we'll try the Atlas S, which is your stereotypical brawling assault mech. In public test 2, it was basically DOA. There was really no reason to even run an Atlas in public test 2. It was way too hot. Even cycle firing, it was way too hot. But we'll see if there's been any improvements.
Target acquired.
Alright, Alpha Strike!
Override engaged. Heat level critical.
So you can Alpha Strike still. That's good.
Target
Alright, so
destroyed.
previously Alpha Strike would overheat you in
Critical.
PTS 2, so BGI has corrected that, thank goodness.
Target acquired.
Although cycle firing is still pretty hot. I'll walk over here and let it get down to 0% while I do. It's not quite so bad. Quite a little awesome. Alright, so the Atlas has been buffed back to where it's somewhat useful again. Okay, sorry for the delay. Had a message I was answering. Let's see. My Atlases are all pretty much like that. So let's test the Battlemaster missile boat. BLR-1S, the stereotypical LRM boat. This music, by the way, is from the Jet Force Gemini console game for the Nintendo 64. And hang on a second, let me pull Twitch back up. I had closed it for something, and I'm pulling it back up now so I can watch the chat. Yeah, you're right, Fumbler. Sorry I haven't replied yet. I had my phone off. I was working on something else in between the load times, and I forgot to check the Twitch. I wasn't ignoring you. I just forgot to pull up my my active window. Anyways, but yeah, you're right. There's really no way to get a public match still. Nobody's playing it. Everybody's playing the events instead.
Target
What I was doing
acquired.
previously was I was getting people from my clan to help me out, but unfortunately they're all pretty busy. They're either playing the normal matches or they're working today. Oh, 6, duh, 6 is chain fire. Well, the LRM boat definitely feels like it's been buffed pretty strongly lately. Can't really say that's a bad thing. I'm not sure what we'll see. I personally deplore LRMs, so I don't look forward to seeing lots of LRM boats, but I do recognize that the weapon has been somewhat underpowered. Yeah, I've got my Twitch back up, Fumbler, and so if you post anything in the chat, I should see it now on my Twitch screen. I had been messaging somebody, and when I finished, I forgot to pull it back up on my phone, so I didn't realize that you had entered and chatted some things. So I apologize again for missing that. Normally, I'm much better about interacting with my audience. Alright, Battlemaster 1G. This is one of my favorite mechs. We'll see how badly it got nerfed. I know PGI was
I just
trying
got
to nerf the 1Gs
3
because they
days
had very
premium time reward from the event.
You got your awards there, Bo? Is that what you said?
You
Yeah,
killed someone in
third
third
person.
person and stayed alive.
No, I just got the reward. I haven't done it yet. I've progressed to 1 out of 3, but I just got the reward anyways.
Target
3 days
acquired.
of active premium time.
Alright, so the heat's about the same as it was in PTS 2, slightly more than in the live server right now. Still a very functional mech in my book. Once I get to the top, I will cycle fire. and we'll see
Challenges
what
are
that
quite
does.
bugged.
Yeah, I kept getting the count, change the UCM encounter mode to disable someone's ECM. And
Yeah.
I haven't taken a mech out that had an ECM.
And again, I'm
since
not
it
really
started.
aiming here, more just watching the heat gauge without actually paying attention to where I'm shooting.
Target destroyed. Heat
So I have to say this mech is pretty functional still. You can't alpha quite as much as it used to, which was really the strong point of this mech was high mounts alpha with an XL 400. You can't really do that now, but you can still cycle fire, and considering the fact that everybody is in the same boat, I can't really say it's going to hurt this mech. Could have sworn that was a solid headshot.
Target destroyed.
Alrighty. Next mech. Almost done here. We're wrapping up. Not very many mechs left. I could try a lot of different mechs. I could buy some and build some, but to be honest, it's all kind of a moot point because PGI is going to do what PGI wants to do. This is more me taking a few benchmark mechs, some fun builds, some meta builds, some troll builds, just to get an idea of how it's going to affect each facet of gameplay as PGI works toward its goal. And once again, they have a goal, they have an objective, but they're not telling us what it is. They are just saying they want to balance everything, but they're not telling us how they want to balance it. They're just making these changes, telling us how they made them, and then asking us for feedback, which they're not really using. So typical PGI behavior. Again, all I'm trying to do is see what's coming down the pipeline. Last, we'll try the triple large pulse laser Zeus, and we'll see how that works.
Hey, I got another plasma ball.
Wow, this is taking a lot longer than I thought. I'm getting a little mech worried out just from this. There's a huge event going on right now, and I'm looking forward to trying it. I don't think I'll have the time to grind out the entire thing, but I'm definitely planning to snag some of that MC. Alright, this mech is pretty strong, I think. 30 points of damage, slow heat up. I'd say this mech is still very viable. Once again, damage is decreased on the large pulse, so it only does 10 points of damage now instead of 11, which is not enough to finish the cockpit. That one is.
Target destroyed.
And with that, I think we're going to call it good. Let's take another peek at the mech bays, make sure I caught all the ones I wanted to test. And once I confirm that I have, then I'm going to sign off, and that'll be it for PTS for ED number 3. Or to spell it out, public test server, energy draw 3. Don't really have much to rant about this time. I think PGI public test for energy draw 3 is much better than public test for energy draw number 2. Still not really happy with some changes, but it is a positive step, a positive corrective step, I should say, in the right direction. I just wish that they would fix the brawling slightly better. I feel like brawling still feels a little weak compared to long range, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think the ACs need to be slightly cooler, less energy draw, although otherwise they feel pretty good right now. And I also wish the Clan PPCs kept their splash damage. I don't really get PGI's decision to remove splash damage from them. I think it's better to have it. Not only does it add a little bit more character to the weapon, but it also doesn't make it just a cheap replacement for the Gauss rifle. But, you know, PGI is PGI, so we'll see what happens. So those are probably my two biggest issues with the public test as it is. Other than that, I think positive changes overall, and we'll see what happens. Alright, I'm going to sign off for a bit. I'm sure I'll be on later tonight to do some quick drops for the event, but I'm going to take a break, get a bite to eat, take care of some things around the apartment. In the meantime, hope you enjoy the show. If you did, be sure to tune in next time. This is Nightmare 1 for the third round of energy drop for the public test server. I will be sending this over to YouTube as a highlight. Once I do, you will be able to find it in my public test server playlist, and you'll be able to view all 3 public test videos there for the energy draw system. I'm going to try one last mech right here. This is my Enforcer. It's definitely a pulse laser boat and a laser vomit mech. It's one of my favorite mechs, and definitely want to see how it's going to be affected by energy draw. This will be the last mech I try for today for the energy draw before I log on.
Using my Kodiak for the event so far.
And maybe just saying something and I'm talking over him. Hope that wasn't too garbled. Alright. Alright, here we go. This is the mech that I got my Ace of Spades in officially. I made Ace of Spades with other mechs in the past before the achievement. Then of course, Murphy's Law, once the achievement comes out, I can never seem to make it. I was always like 6 or 7 mechs and always 1 or 2 shy. But I wound up nailing 9 mechs. Let's see, 6 of which were clan. And in a final 4v1 brawl, well, not brawl, but hunt would be the better way to describe it, with me kiting 4 clan mechs to win the match with less than a minute left on the timer. It was quite the fight. Over 1,000 points, actually over 1,300 points of damage. And this mech is an Excel mech to boot, so it was a whale of a fight. One of my favorite ones that I've had to date. I have to say, alpha striking with this mech does not really feel nerfed. Cycle firing seems okay too. We'll dump my cool shots to get it down. There we go. Yeah, cycle firing definitely seems okay.
Critical. Override.
I meant to kill the torso and then the center torso, but I overrode it, so. I got it. Boom! Bite the dust. Alright. Well, I really wish I could have got a 12v12 or an 8v8 going. Unfortunately, there's just nobody in the public test right now. And my own guys are grinding for the event, so I can't even do like 1v1 or 2v2. But at least you can see the weapon effects, and then you can take that and extrapolate it yourself as to what that means for the larger groups. Keep in mind a couple things. One, laser vomit meta is still alive and well in the public test server. It's nerfed, but it's still there. Ballistics have been nerfed in general compared to the public server. This third round of changes to the public test buffed them slightly compared to where they were on the second public test, which is a positive change overall. But they still aren't where they're at or where I would like them to be. Gauss has been buffed in the removal of cooldown, but nerfed in its long cooldown increase for its time. Excuse me. PPCs got buffed. That'll make a lot of PPC people happy. I think we'll see a major recurrence for them. UACs were buffed and nerfed at the same time, so I guess no net change for them. Let's see what else. Missiles are the same as ever. Big buff for missiles. I think we'll start seeing a lot more SRMs and LRMs in the future. And I guess that about wraps it up. Keep in mind also that as you play in large groups, I'd say 6 mans and up, your TTK is not really going to be affected by all these public test changes. Man, what are you mumbling about, man? Stop talking to yourself. Anyways, but lost my train of thought for a second. Oh yeah, so keep in mind if you're playing in the group queue, don't expect to see an increase to your overall TTK, time to kill. The reason being, when you're in a group, you've got at least 4, usually 6 or more mechs focused firing on a single mech if the group is good. Even if it's above average, you're going to have that many focus fired on one mech. Keep in mind that even if PGI was to hard cap alphas at 30 points of damage, which as you've seen, I've done a lot more alphas that are higher than that. If they were to hard cap it at 30 points of damage, times 6 mechs, that's 180 points of damage. They can put that in a single torso and they will kill you in one shot. Your TTK is not going to increase. What will happen is the TTK for the second person might increase. But more than likely, the next rank of mechs will step up and kill him with one shot. And what you'll wind up with are rank engagements with mechs cycling off with others as they cool down, 18th century musket style. In the long run, TTK won't really change because the groups will just adapt their tactics, and we'll see same old with squeaky wheels complaining that their TTK is too short because they can't adapt. MechWarrior in every video game is always about adapting. Metas will always kill you quickly. What we're doing here is we're chasing ghosts, but, is what it is. I will say this, in the pugging queue, I think the TTK will increase because that's a free-for-all, and people don't really fight there with any sense or tactics, so I think in that sense you will see, I'm using the word sense a lot here, in that manner I believe you will see TTK increase simply because of the discord and the lack of coordination. But again, just to strongly emphasize, group play, your TTK will not increase. It will stay the same. Do not buy into the naive thought that just because all these changes are coming, that the time to kill is going to go up. Time to kill is how long it takes from the first round to hit your mech to the moment your mech hits the ground. That time is going to remain the same because groups are still going to focus their fire, they're still going to use tactics, and they're still going to fight in a way that benefits them. They're not going to stand out in the open and trade with you. They're not going to send out individual mechs to fight you. They will hit you with their full force every time they see you, and you will die instantaneously, even if you're an Atlas, just like we see now. That being said, I think this is a positive change. I like energy draw, the concept, that is. I have not really been happy with PGI's pursuit of it, but I think we're starting to see some positive changes, and I really hope that they continue with the current, their current momentum here, that they continue to make these changes that will balance the game out a little more, provide a little more depth to it, and provide a very good mechanism to manage the alpha strikes. I'm losing my train of thought here. Provide a better mechanism for managing alpha strikes than ghost heat is what I'm trying to say. Sorry, I'm distracted by something that's going on outside of the game. Anyways, but that's it for now. Again, this is Nightmare 1 signing off. I will be playing later. Hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to tune in next time and check out YouTube for the rest of the public test videos. Thanks, and have a good day.